think we found a decent spot. Let's go. Get your bedroll out, buddy. You can lie down and relax. Huh. It's nice out today. It's 8 degrees. I'm knee deep in snow, as you can see. It's a nice day for us to get out and test a mess kit I have from Trangia. And have some instant noodle. I put on my plush palaka for Scout. Do somewhere nice and warm to lie down. There you go, buddy. It's hot. Whew. That feels good. The infamous Glock shovel. Yeah, you've seen this before. It's amazing how dogs always find out how to get in the way. I'll leave this out for now. I'm going to put a base of twigs just to build my fire on top of, so it instantly evaporates snow and put my fire out. I've got a Bic lighter and I've got a homemade wax-soaked cotton pad. So I'm going to use that to start the fire. I'll bring you guys in closer so you can see me do this. Alright, here we are. So this is just a regular cotton pad, and you just soak in some paraffin wax. And what's great about the cotton pads is I could just kind of break it up. It'll loosen the wax a bit, and I can split it in half and expose the fibers. This was my first go around with these. I'm used to using like hexamine tabs, so I think I put a bit too much wax, but that's okay. It still works well. The best thing is, they're just great value and they work rather well. And there you go. See, once it opens up, there's the dry cotton fibers, and this is what takes light rather well from a metal match or even a Bic lighter, which is what I'm using today. And they'll burn for like 5 minutes, enough to get a fire started in weather like this. And there you can see there's the cotton pad burning. I'll give it a slow burn for enough to get this wood ignited of where it's rather dry. But you can see how having tinder just makes life a lot easier to get a fire started. Coming out in weather like this just to have a little campfire and cook some instant noodles on a new mess kit with the dog is the best thing ever. Ever, ever, ever. The great thing and why I'm excited for this kit today is this guy. 9 times out of 10, I am using a regular gas butane pocket rocket setup. It's light, it's easy, it's quick, but there are definitely times where that's not the most optimal setup for camping. Really, in situations like this, there's snow everywhere, it can be windy, it can be wet, and those things lose a lot of efficiency. B, when you're in the bush, it is so easy to knock these things over when you have like a gas butane pocket rocket setup. And that's a real issue. You have to be careful. It's hard to move it around if you have to move it. There's snow everywhere. Sometimes you don't always have some flat ground in order to get things as stable as you need. Whereas this guy, as I'll go into, it's just a really stable setup. Here's where you can see a butane setup is not always the most optimal. The ground's really uneven. You might be in a rush. You could be nutrient deprived, sleep deprived, clumsy. This is great for that situation. It is a little heavier. It is bigger. It does include a pot and a fry pan set and a lid, and it's all built in. So that's a bonus as well. There's a strap and strap it. That way things don't get lost. It stays locked in to the bottom base where you don't have to mess about with it. I think I do have to take it off in order to attach the top part though. So I'll do that. Cool. So lid slash frying pan. Inside it has a nested pot in there. And I have here a buff that's holding both the Trangia burner and a handle for the pot or frying pan, whatever you want to use it for. There you go. Now, these come in a lot of different sizes and a lot of different makes. You can get them, they only come in aluminum as far as I understand, but you can get them in different sizes, up to like 1.5, I think even maybe 2 liters, I'm not sure. This is the smallest, like 1 liter version, and it comes with 2 pot sets. This which is on the base, you flip over and you can lock this top part into it. And this is where the value comes in of, you can see that's a really stable base. It is really hard to knock this over. There are some prongs which you can flip in, and this is what holds the pots up, right? Or even the frying pan on top. You can flip these out, and then there you go. It's holding your frying pan rather stable. And this is really good, because if you're clumsy, like I said, you might be really tired, it could be dark. If you knock this, it's very stable. You knock this with a gas butane pocket rocket, it's going over your foods everywhere. So that's one of the main benefits. Also, this Trangia burner, which gets nested inside, is really wind protected. So when it's windy out, excuse me, it's protected. And you'll see people who are in the bush, they're out on the lake, it is frozen, it is windy, and they're cooking with this thing, which is awesome. All right, let's get this guy going. I already have a little bit of alcohol in here. I'm going to put a bit more. Perfect. As far as I said with stability and moving things, I can just pick this thing up and move the whole thing as well, which is great. She's lit. Awesome. That should be good. Beautiful. I love having these handles. In a pinch, it's a versatile kit of where there's even, if you do like using iso-butane and you don't want to use an alcohol burner, there's an attachment of where you can clip in a iso-butane burner and run a wire out. I believe there's a little hole right here and still use iso-butane. You can use as a twig stove, or you can even use these pots over the fire if you need to, if you run out of alcohol for any reason. I am going to get this stuff in there. At home, it is really tempting just to let this come to a boil and then put the noodles in, but then you're just wasting energy. Out here, you just get the noodles in, get them cooking, and they'll come to a boil when they come to a boil. Yeah. It's like it fits it perfectly. It was made for instant noodles, man. I'm telling you. And yeah, you can see here I can just leave this. I don't have to worry about Scout knocking it over. Iso-butane, I'd be like guarding it with my life. Hey, what you sit down? Yeah, good boy. You relax. Starting to steam. I think I have my spoon in here somewhere. Yes! Bottomless pocket. Got everything in there. This 1 liter version is just the perfect size for one person. You can definitely get away with boiling water if you're using like freeze-dried meals for 2 people or dehydrated meals. It's got 2 pots. You just might have to cook one after another. Sweet. Again, always clip stuff to yourself. That way you don't lose it. I guess the downsides are it's bulky, right? you're going from a simple butane burner to 1 or 2 pots. There's this top piece, there's this bottom piece. You have an alcohol burner, you have the handle, and you could optionally bring the lid or not. Most of the time you'll bring the lid just to contain the whole system, right? As far as weight goes, I'll probably throw some weights up on the screen. It's a little bit heavier. That being said, some weight's totally worth it. I'm not one of those ultra lightweight guys. If something works well, I don't care if it's a few pounds. If it's worth it, it's worth it. And to me, this is totally worth it. Anyone who's spilt food in the while camping before knows it's heartbreaking. All right, she's boiling now. Come give you a close-up. Well, not boiling, but steaming. I'll give you a look on the inside, actually, on what it looks like when it's all kind of set up. There you go, and so that's it. So it pulls in air from the sides and the bottom, because it is, as you can see, grated, burning rather well. Hey, why don't you lie down? Lie down. Lie down. It's gonna be tricky eating my noodles with a spoon, but I'll figure it out. I might just make some chopsticks. All right, I'll give you one, dog. Come, Scouty. There you go. As you can tell, we do everything together. Yum! That's it. All right, guys. I'm going to pack up, get this guy back home, get him dried off. And I hope you enjoyed reviewing that cook kit and me eating instant noodles with Scout. Take it easy.